What's going on? My name is Morgan. Kind of just wanted to go over, document my car. Got it about 2 or 3 years ago. Not gonna say I got it bone stock, but at the same time I did change a lot of things since I've owned it. So here it is. So to start out, this car, I primarily bought it as kind of to be like my first drift car. But the previous owner didn't disclose to me, and I'm not really sure what happened because I did check the oil when I purchased the vehicle. But I went to do an oil change on it about a week later, and oil mixing with coolant. Same thing in the reservoir. So I kind of, got a little upset about it, but at the end of the day, you just got to deal with what cards are given to you. So I bit the bullet and I bought a whole head gasket kit. I was assuming that it was a head gasket, but when I pulled the head off, it was cracked on 5 out of 6 cylinders. So I went through and replaced the head and L-ring gasket kit, and did most of everything while I was in there. I did oil filter, housing gasket, I put in ARP head studs, and yeah, when it was all said and done, the previous owner had already installed these long tube headers and as well as the M50 manifold. So I ended up getting a tune from RK Tunes. It was a little scary flashing it by myself because there's kind of a series of things you got to do with 2 jumper wires to put it in like a program mode, but ended up working out with that. So M50 manifold. I also did Condor engine risers. I was scraping up my X brace, and I don't know if you guys know about verts or not. They do come with an X brace that kind of sits underneath the oil pan, and my oil pan was real close to that, so I really wanted to raise the engine before I cracked the pan. So I don't know if you guys can see down there, but I have my Condor engine risers. I did actually raise the engine quite a bit. The only concern now is I kind of want to switch to an E-fan, just because this is getting really close to the shroud and even on the lower hose down there. So along with the engine mounts, I also did Condor poly trans mounts. I'm pretty sure those are 70A, the street ones, along with the Condor solid steering shaft. But yeah, it is kind of crazy because everything transfers to the wheels. So for suspension, I have SoloWorks coilovers. Previous owner installed those. Don't love them, don't really hate them either. Kind of just mid-grade. But as far as suspension alignment wise, it's about 8 degrees of camber in the front and 3 to 4 in the rear. I kind of built this, I wanted it originally as a drift car, and then I proposed to my wife. We ended up planning our wedding and thought it'd be a great idea just to kind of clean this up and take our engagement photos with it and do everything. So I did clean it up for my wedding, But now, I mean, I've been to shows, and I really just want to get, not that I want to destroy it, but I do want to get back into drifting. Or not really back into it, get into drifting. So since then I ended up actually getting a truck for my uncle, in the works of kind of getting a trailer. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to hit some events soon. Obviously I'll probably end up posting about it on here, the whole process. But it does have an angle kit. It is, I guess I'll just start the car up. So it has E36 lower control arms. This is like a PMC style block, according to the previous owner. And then E90 inners and extended outers with Heim joints. Has M3 style sway bar end links. And yeah, for the rear, it's still a divorced setup. So I don't know if you can see, but it's got just a shock, spring in the bucket with the adjustment. I did kind of want to make this lower, but I was running into the issue where I had too much droop and I didn't want my spring to fall out if my wheel drooped all the way. But also in the rear, I do have a, I think it's a 320 something, or 315 welded diff. I really wanted to get something with a shorter ratio just because second gear just feels like it has no power. And not that this thing really makes a lot of power to begin with, but I just wanted something, you know, everyone was just preaching about the 391. So I ended up getting a 391. I do plan to throw it in sometime soon. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I did install Part Shop Max rear trailing arm bushings, or spherical bearings, sorry. Those really tighten the rear end up, I feel like, and before they were just shot. So I really am happy with those. As far as the front, these are Glass Depot LED headlights with projectors. Just some eBay corner lights, and same with the fog lights, which are also glass. I did already have one fall out, so that's why we stick with eBay with those. This is just an M3 style bumper from Amazon, actually, and I mean, unless you guys see something I don't, I really think it, for the price you pay, you can't beat it. But yeah, so initially when I bought the car, the previous owner had huge tires on the front and just baking the front fenders completely. So I got pre-facelift fenders because they were about half the price, and the only difference was the side marker right here. So I just changed to a pre-facelift side marker as well, and kind of made my own little plastic mount to screw in behind there. And yeah, they're kind of cool. They're actually cool. They're actually sequential. Some of that Ricer stuff. So here's how it looks with the front lights on. I mean, I feel like you just can't beat BMW halos, angel eyes, whatever you want to call them. This is Avery Dennison radioactive metallic green. I really like the color because it's kind of hard to see on camera, but this thing really sparkles. The spoiler, or drag wing for a better term, is from E36 parts. Probably should have put a coat of Bondo over this first before I wrapped it, but I was kind of in a rush, and I do really like the spoiler, except for the fact that there's no mounting points. I know a lot of wings have, you know, like the riv nuts up in there that you could screw something into through the trunk lid, but this didn't have it. So it is fiberglass. It's just 3M taped on there. Sorry, my phone died, but I believe I was back here. So this is these are K2 taillights. They're the, I guess, semi-clears, you could call them. I do really like them. They're obviously not the full clears, but you can't really see much red. I really like how it has these kind of lines in them. This is an ISR style blast pipe. The whole car is 2.5-inch exhaust. MagnaFlow, just a small pass-through MagnaFlow muffler. It does have pops and bangs with the RK tune. So when I got the car, it did not have any carpet. Luckily, my friend was able to source me one out of an M3 black, as you can tell, but it was from a coupe. So in case you didn't know, the vert and coupe carpets are different. The trans tunnel is a lot wider on the verts, and same with the door sills. Just this kind of area underneath the door. This is DOM steel tube roll cage. It is welded to the floor, and it's welded to the, I guess, the rear deck, you could call it. I do like how you're able to still use these seats. I do have Sparco seats that I plan on putting in sometime soon. I'm probably just gonna run the stock belts because I don't have a harness bar. The previous owner had put this roll bar in. It actually used to be a full kind of cage. You can see where it was. You can see where it was cut, and it went all the way up to a plate up here. That's why it's kind of raised. I didn't really do much on the interior. This was already on there, just AC Schnitzer. It does have a Willwood inline hydro setup. I wanted to kind of make my own handle because the handle he had was just cobbed together, and I don't know, I just wanted to make something that basically didn't hit the shifter when you went into fourth, because that's what would happen with the one he had on there. The previous owner had put drilled and slotted rotors on. Obviously nothing real fancy. But back to when I was talking about the fenders, I really had to roll and pull. It was basically all like this flat flange the whole way around, and I really pulled it just to kind of make these fit. I really didn't want to run just overs in the front, and my thought process was maybe one day when this gets all banged up, then I can cut into it. But I really don't want to waste a really clean quarter panel on either side. But yeah, these are 17 by 8.5 plus 27, but they are 5 by 114. So, I mean, you can either run an adapter like I have, 14 mil, or you could get dual drilled hubs, but then you have to run into getting different rotors or dual drilled rotors. And because I was able to make them fit, I just went with the adapters. So technically the wheels are 17 by 8.5 plus 13 instead of plus 27 if you account for the adapter. At the end of the day though, I do want to drift this car. I feel like making it kind of pretty just turned it into a stance car. And while it is cool, I feel like driving the car is the cooler part. So I really do want to get into that. Thank you guys if you made it this far. Kind of just, like I said, I wanted to make a video documenting the build and kind of something I could reference back to, and just thought I'd share.